Should we call the meeting to order? All right. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. All right. So, any changes to the agenda?
No, Madam Acting Mayor.
All right. Looking for a-
Motion to approve the agenda?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No presentations, proclamations, or acknowledgements. Anybody here for public comment? Hi, Jean.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Feeling younger.
Good.
Okay. Gene Mager, 41 West Lewis Street. I attended the meeting virtually last week, our last meeting, and I wanted to say your audio was really great. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now I got some information. I mean, you hate to say it, but in the past month, I've seen 5 golf carts lacking slow-moving vehicle signs. 2 of the carts definitely didn't have a permit. 1 I know did, and the other 2 I can't tell. The sign is a requirement by law. It's in the ordinance. I think it's a safety issue, so it should be everybody's concern. And there's also 2 carts in the neighborhood, and they put the sign underneath the seat. That's fine until somebody sits there, and I have seen that, passengers in the back seat, you don't see the sign. There's one other thing I want to share. The other day I seen 3 little kids, and all 3 were under 12. At least they had their helmets on, but they were all in the same scooter. And you can't always call that in. Anyway, I just wanted to share that. I know you brought it up, and there's an issue, and, yeah. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So since he did bring it up, has there been any more enforcement happening with the kids on scooters since we brought it up 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, the golf cart ATV, that's been constant enforcement for years now. I know I've been seeing them stopping golf carts for juveniles operating them, the other for running around at night without lights on. That's constant. I'll be honest, we're not necessarily gonna go out and stop people from not having a slow-moving sign on the golf carts. We pick our priorities.
Right.
Regarding the kids on scooters, I know there's been some officer conversations with kids about wearing their helmets, staying off the sidewalks. I haven't really been getting any complaints about them per se, but definitely I know the guys are out, including myself, warning kids to get your helmets on, get off the sidewalks, get off the non-motorized paths. But other than that, I guess we're not really hearing much else than, to raise big concerns. It's gonna be an ongoing issue.
Okay.
The newsletter, I think, that's going out, is gonna have the same thing that was on Facebook, so whatever residents get the newsletter, they'll get that as well, about the rules and the expectations.
I will say that after the Facebook post came out, I did see a decrease in the crazy kids on the scooters.
Okay.
So that was good. Obviously, there's still a few out there that are just thinking they can go nilly-willy about whatever they want to do. But I did see a decrease and more kids actually stopping at stop signs and kind of looking, so that's a good thing. So baby steps, maybe?
Yeah, we'll keep up I'm assuming we'll do another Facebook post, and, I don't wanna inundate people with Facebook posts from the city, but we'll probably do another in a month or so a reminder about it, and, maybe a thing in the newsletter every year, kind of a reminder, because it is always the ATV golf cart issue, and the scooters have certainly gotten more attention this last year than previously.
Okay.
Chief, we used to do bike rodeos out at the elementary school. I don't know if we still do that. If we are still doing it, would we be able to incorporate safety training that's associated with scooters and electric bikes, since that really is starting to become the more prevalent mode of transportation and where most of the issues are.
Yeah, I guess if Chief Jewell did any kind of bike rodeos, I wasn't aware of it, but I know this, at the end of the school year, Officer Senden did a bike safety presentation at Eagle View. We can certainly take a look at, see if we can get something scheduled still this year to do a bike safety, scooter safety, if people wanna attend, and we can kinda help, show them how to operate them safely and where to do all of that, and hand out brochures or literature or whatever for parents to take home.
That'd be a great idea. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say, I almost see every kid on a scooter wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
That's good to see.
That is good to see, yes. Okay. Awesome, thank you, thank you. All right, any changes or anything that anyone wants to pull off consent agenda?
Just wanted to check. I see Commissioner Wolf is on. I don't
Oh.
know if he wants to do public comment at all, or?
I'm sorry,
No, I just saw it earlier.
I'm not even logged in yet. Commissioner Wolf, do you have anything you'd like to add, sir?
Nope.
No? Okay. I wasn't even on Zoom yet.
I couldn't get unmuted, but I don't have anything tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. All right.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so then on to consent agenda. Does anyone want anything pulled? To talk about? Okay.
Motion to, all right,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay, consent agenda passes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No public hearings, on to no general business, on to reports, administration.
I have nothing specific unless there's any questions for administration.
Okay. Public Works, anything different than his monthly report?
Nope.
Okay. Police Department,
Nothing on our end.
okay. Fire Department,
No.
Engineering,
I don't have a written report. Seeing Gene in the audience, it reminds me, a couple months ago, we had some complaints about the turf establishment on the reconstruction project. I believe that's been solved. Do you agree? It sure looks thick and green when I drive through there.
okay.
I sprayed it, I killed a lot of weeds in there.
Oh, all right,
Half weeds and half grass.
okay.
Okay,
But we have received no calls for the last month, so.
okay, perfect. Community Development,
I don't have any updates, unless you have questions for me. I do have a question, maybe for Megan or Josh. I'm working on as the council is aware, the city submitted a request for funding for a Quarters of Commerce grant from MnDOT of $1.5 million for the engineering. We were looking for letters of support. We haven't received one from Duckworth, or you haven't had any, they didn't forward them to you by chance, did they?
They did not.
Okay.
I know there's been kind of a lull and kind of a stepping back, just kind of given everything that's gone on and the end of session being so busy, but I think we could probably ping them. And we have until the end of the month, right?
No, we have until tomorrow. And, I mean, we did get other letters of support from other representatives, so if fine submitting the way it is, but Liskey and Duckworth we haven't received any. I think Lisa Freeze with the county had requested those.
I think they might be doing it right now. Okay,
Okay, I don't if you have any other questions regarding community development?
anything more on Parks?
Right now, the Parks Commission is on hiatus until September, although we were having some discussions today that we may need to convene them in August to give feedback on a development concept plan. And then the next meeting, whether that's August or September, we'll be reviewing the feedback from the open house for the Wagner Park Trail, which we discussed at our last meeting.
Okay. CCEC,
Nothing specific that I have. Will be, I'm assuming they will start working on Halloween as their upcoming topic. On a related note, we did have fire rescue days. I don't know if you guys were aware of that. Just kidding. By all accounts, and Kate would have heard, but by all accounts, it was I didn't hear a single negative comment. In fact, there seemed to have been a lot of notice of differences between even last year and this year. And the feedback on that was all positive, just flow, function, layout, participate, events, activities, all of that was very positive.
that's what I heard too. People enjoyed the fact that it was more spread out. They loved the food trucks up top and the extra tables. So that's what I heard. Megan, what'd you hear sitting down there by Cornhole?
All good things.
All good things.
Hot
Awesome.
day, but
It was a very hot day. Yeah, but thank you to everyone, city staff, parks, the ladies on the team, everyone that came out and helped that day. Thank you for helping make it such a success. It was great.
And I would triple down on the small group of you guys that were really carrying so much of that throughout the last year plus, and working with Tom and staff and Corey and everybody to pull it together. Hats off to you guys.
Thank you. All right, scale, nothing,
No.
and service delivery, nothing, right? Executive,
July, we take off.
that's what I thought, okay. I-35,
we take off July as well.
okay. Okay, then we're on to discussion by council.
So I will have to carry this one for Amanda since she's not here tonight, but Scott County has a Carver Scott Mobility Board. She had volunteered and been serving on it, but she is now having regular conflicts and can't attend regularly. There isn't a requirement that every city provide one, but we had been representing up until Amanda's schedule didn't allow her to do so. She just wanted to raise the question if there was somebody else on the council who had an interest in actually attending that had the availability to do so.
When do they meet?
I don't know. I will have to talk with them also about kind of the details of it. I'm not super familiar with it personally. It's not one of the transit groups that I was involved in back in the day. So I think it's more of, is there anybody interested? And then we can kind of go from there.
Depending on the day, I'd be interested in finding out more about it. And I'd be willing to help out if it's a day that I can do.
Okay, I'll do some research.
Somebody else wants to do
No,
it.
I'm in the same boat. I mean, without knowing the details, I
Right.
won't be able to commit to anything.
What I'm hearing is that
Meetings
there
are
is,
held quarterly, all at 3:30 to 4:30 PM on Monday. This was back in 2021. But were held 3:30 to 4:30 on Mondays. It looks like the first Mondays of the month, February, May, August, and November.
Oh,
They were held virtually due to the COVID stuff, and I don't know if that's still, this is from, I don't know if it's still updated or not.
okay.
So-
If it's still the same thing, I'm sure I can do it.
I'll get contact information from Amanda, and I will make contact with the appropriate staff support person. I'll get details, I'll email it out to council and a council update, and then
Okay,
go from there.
perfect. Before I raise something that I want to discuss, is there anything else that anybody wants to discuss? No? Okay, so back to fire rescue days. Since originally what we wanted to do was pull it aside and start our own nonprofit, that's much more work than I think any of us are willing to do. We've kind of got the groundwork laid down. It's really basically plug and play, wanting to know how you guys would feel if we were to bring it back to CCEC, which would then maybe allow us to restructure CCEC a little bit, to maybe bring in more outside people to come in and help, maybe go through the list of businesses, organizations that aren't there as much, or, you know, kind of reconstructuring it. Wanting to know how you guys would feel about that.
I'm open to it. Are you thinking like adding members to CCEC and then having like a subcommittee where like ex officio or like outside members could also come in, or just opening up more roles on CCEC altogether?
Go ahead.
We've talked about, the council's talked about it before. I think all of those are on the table. The discussions in the past were just changing the composition, so it would be regular voting members, but the way it was originally conceived is we had local nonprofit organizations that were running events, and so the CCC became the nexus for coordination and collaboration between those groups. What we've seen over time is some of the groups that were originally regular participants aren't as regular anymore, and we've seen growing interest from people, just at-large citizens, who want to, like Jody Lucas with Fire Rescue Days, who would like to be involved, but she's just participating as a volunteer because she doesn't, you know, we don't have that role. So there'd been discussions about possible, just changing how it's structured, you know, how do you define who's eligible, how many people do you have, that type of thing. So I think there would be a discussion there, but in the past, it's always been expanding the voting participants on the committee.
And I'm not talking expanding it to where there's like 20 people, because that is far too many people on the committee to make decisions. I think part of the reason Fire Rescue Days worked so well is because it was a smaller group, and we just, not many people arguing about do this way, do it this way, whatever. But I would like the help of CCEC, and it helps them have more to do.
Well, and it brings some of that structure back. So, I mean, when we look back, it was to pull it out, kind of, trying to say this as well as I can, kind of kickstarted or think differently, bring in different perspectives, but there's pros and cons to that. And, having the structure and the organization of the CCEC, and they built the foundation. I mean, they know what the heck they're doing too. So, and then having staff who have been participating, supporting, and whatever, it's been extra meetings with basically the same thing, then relaying back and forth, and having, Tom and Corey and Derek and others involved throughout the process has been, I'm speaking out of turn because I wasn't there as much this year, seems to be helpful to kind of help facilitate the conversations, make sure things are on track and we're doing everything in compliance and yada, yada, yada. But really still sparking some of the, let's grow it, let's build it, let's do things differently, I guess. And so, my understanding too is kick it back to CCEC in the sense of have a discussion. How would it look? Let them kind of drive the conversation, but really kind of hand it back or whatever and go from there.
Yeah, I know that some of the people that are currently doing the Fire Rescue Days still want to be involved. But yes, using them as well to help with some of the stuff. Because obviously we can get into the nitty-gritty later when we reconstruct it. But I just wanted to know if that was something you guys were open to doing. Okay.
We have a upcoming CCEC meeting next 17th, I think. Jessica just sent me the draft agenda earlier this week. I could have her add that topic, like the reintegration of the Fire Rescue Days subcommittee with the regular CCEC group. And it would be good, I think, if that happened, if like Kate could come, if there could be some representatives from the Fire Rescue Days committee there for that discussion and just talk about pulling it all together, and then also maybe ask her to see if they can give some recommendations on what the composition should look like going forward.
I agree with that. I think that's a great idea. Okay. Anything else? All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great meeting, guys.